All right, good evening. Welcome to the 2024 Incubator EDU final pitch. My name is Erica Dement, and I am the business instructor that works with our Incubator program at Farmington High School. Before we begin, what I know that you guys are all here to see tonight, I would like to give you a little bit of background information about the Incubator program. For those of you that do not know, it is an entrepreneurship program in which students learn about industry-relevant practices and business concepts, as well as to put their learnings into practice by creating real businesses. The businesses that you will learn about from the students this evening are not fictitious. They are real businesses that are currently in operation and making profit. Students were put into teams very early on in the school year, and they did not get to choose these teams, but instead were teams based on their personalities and their strengths. Soon after, they started having conversations about problems that they felt were worth solving. Each team spent the fall developing their business plans. This involved identifying a solution to the problem that they had identified, determining their target market, planning how they would communicate with customers and deliver the solution, as well as beginning to estimate their cost. At the end of the first semester, students pitched their business ideas to our board of advisors, who are here with us today. They shared their plans for the MVP phase of the program, which is when the teams create their minimum viable product. At this pitch, teams were awarded seed money to create and test their minimum viable products. This spring, students have been taking the feedback from their MVPs to build upon and iterate or pivot their business ideas. And all that led to tonight. The two teams will be pitching their final business plans to our board of advisors, as well as seeking investment funds to continue with their plans. So now I'd like to recognize the people that have helped with this program this year. They are supported by a lot of business professionals in our community, including, and these community members volunteer to serve as community champion, mentors, coaches, and board of advisor members. We are very appreciative of these individuals, and I would like to recognize them. So first, our community champion is Candy Henty. She is our lead volunteer who supports us in recruiting volunteers as well as advertising our pitch events like this to the community. Our board of advisors has been an amazing source of feedback for students this year, both at the MVP pitch and then again tonight. Our board consists of Scott Plummer, Lynn Wisdom, as well as Debbie Peterson. Debbie Peterson joined us at the MVP pitch, but she was not able to be here tonight, so we are so excited to have our former incubator instructor with us this evening, Christy Pierce, who is serving as our third board member this evening. Our student teams were also matched with mentors at the beginning of the school year, and these individuals have met with students several times over the course of the year just to provide feedback as students have developed their business plans. I would like to thank both Rachel Burns and Corey Wilkinson for serving as mentors for the two teams, as well as for welcoming us to their business in the fall so that we can learn about their amazing business, the Bold Spoon Creamery. I would also like to thank all of the individuals that have come into our classroom to serve as coaches this year. They have shared their industry experience with us and helped students dive deeper into those aspects of their development of their businesses. So a casual observer may underestimate the amount of time that students truly dedicate to this program. But to see these students balance Incubator in addition to all of their other college coursework, extracurricular activities, and jobs is incredible. With that being said, I would also like to thank the parents and relatives of these students. I know that a lot of the work students have put into their businesses has taken place outside of my classroom, and I also know that many of you have opened up your homes to be the production sites for the products that you're going to learn about this evening, and that is very much appreciated by me as well as the students. At this time, I would like to welcome our first team to the stage for their final pitch presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Royal Billy Paper Cup.
We've all had the experience of opening a birthday card just to look for the gift certificate or cash inside. These days, cards are simply seen as a vessel for the bigger gift. But what our society's forgotten is that cards are supposed to be a way to share with our loved ones how much we truly appreciate them. And that's where we come in. We're Royal Olympic, and I'm Ella Diggs, our Chief Executive Officer.
I'm Lulu, our Chief Communications Officer.
And I'm Lily Betts-Bacon, the Chief Financial Officer.
And I'm Jessica Wade, the Chief Marketing Officer.
Every great business starts with trying to solve a problem. And our team found that over 1.3 billion holiday cards are thrown away every year, which is a major pollutant for our Earth. Not only does it pollute it by throwing away their trash themselves, but the mass production of these cards also result in major carbon emissions. Additionally, cards have lost their sentimentality. They don't have a purpose anymore, and they're sort of a holiday obligation. So that's where Royal Lily wants to step in. Royal Lily produces plantable, hand-painted, handmade cards from recycled materials to not only gift you a sustainable gifting experience, but inspire loved ones to gift each other with pride.
So why should you choose us when you can buy a card from almost any store? Royal Lily Paper Co. uses 100% recycled materials, unlike most mass-produced paper products. We pride ourselves in making homemade, handmade cards without the production of carbon emissions. All of our cards are handmade, hand-painted, customizable, and even plantable. You should choose Royal Lily Paper Co. because we are striving to help each other and the earth. So our target market is all adults, all middle-class U.S. residents, all people who enjoy giving and receiving sentimental gifts, people who are eco-conscious, and of course all plant lovers. So our total addressable market, which is the biggest one, is going to be all of the United States with about 296 million people above the poverty line. This number is basically the people who are able to afford our product. Our serviceable addressable is going to be 5 million, and that is all of Missouri. And then our most local and smallest target is Sheriff Market, and that is 54,000, and that's all in St. Francis County. So as you can see, we have enough of a market to sell our product. We just have to find the people who love our product as much as we do. Our current marketing strategies include craft fairs, which allow us to personally market our product outside of Farmington, Missouri, as well as providing us with a unique group of people who are all there for the same thing. We've also used social media as a marketing platform with one of our posts, our most popular post, reaching 16 million views. We've reached out to multiple influencers who post about eco-friendliness and flowers, and we have had multiple people post about our business and our product, and we have received a lot of traffic from that. We have also recently been invited to, we have recently been invited on the Flower Truck Friends podcast. We talked about the program and our business on that. That should be released in about a week. So that generated a lot of traffic. And we are also going to be appearing on BKTV as well as Farmington High School's journalism program. If we were to gain the funds from today, we would like to implement social media ads and boosts. Typically, these are charged per click or per view. So we would need a lot more funds than we have currently, and we'd like to explore boutique partnerships within Farmington and possibly wholesale. So next is our competitors. Our competitors consist of Hallmark, American Greetings, and Cast Paper Art. Hallmark and American Greetings are similar because they differentiate from us because they have limited customizable options, they're not printable, and they're not completely recyclable. Cast Paper Art is more in line with our business, but unlike us, they are not locally based. They have expensive shipping, and they have a minimum card requirement when purchasing from them. So from our MVP, what we did is we conducted a market test where we gave our product to different people and of different demographics, and received feedback from them regarding our price, our style, our inclusion of seeds within our cards. What we learned from that is the perfect price point for our product, along with our more broad target demographic from what we originally thought, and then the diverse situations in which our cards would be purchased for other people, along with how there's a bigger market than we thought originally for customized cards. So the changes we've made from our business model canvas since we originally created it, we discovered that our cards had an increased quality compared to other normal cards, so therefore they had an increased price. We also added a fixed expense, which was us paying for our website every month, along with how we changed things that were written for our original old business model, such as how we were creating journals and just plain pieces of paper to fit our new business model. We also broadened our target audience, like I mentioned earlier. And then here is just a look at our paper from the beginning of the year and to where it is now.
In regards to the financials of our company, as seen above is a table that depicts a brief overview of our 3-year financial model. And our revenue stream is selling directly to the customers, and our forecast is we hope to sell $5,000 in revenue, gain $5,000 in revenue within the first year, $6,000 within the second year, and then $7,000 within the third year. And as seen above, we sell products that we have divided into 3 basic categories: playing cards, ones with watercolor designs, and then custom invitations. We hope to increase our sales mainly in the playing cards due to them being around the longest, and they are the most popular. But we also hope to increase our sales in the watercolor designs and custom invitations as well. Hopefully around 20% with the watercolor designs and custom invitations, and then around 30% for the playing cards. And our revenue model is based on transactions. In continuation with our 3-year financial model, in terms of our cost of goods sold, our cost of goods sold are very low for each of our products, ranging from around $1 to $3, since most of our materials used to make our product are donated to us from the high school, so it is free. So we only have to spend our money on buying seeds for our seed inclusions, which act as the plantable component for our business, along with buying the eco-friendly envelopes and mailers. And since our cost of goods sold are so low, our net profit margin and our gross profit margin are relatively high, being the 85th percentile and the 60th percentile. And then lastly, for our selling, general, and administrative costs, we only have an administrative cost, which is our website, that we have to pay $35 a month for $420 per year. And we use 8% to 5% of our revenue for that over the course of 3 years.
In terms of equity division, Royal Lily Paper Co. will be divided into 4 25% portions based on each of the 4 members. Each of the 4 members will have a 25% stake in the company as well as receiving 25% of the profit upon dissolution. Additionally, when all 4 of us turn 18, we will register with the state of Missouri as a partnership LLC, which will make us a legal entity and allow us to pay taxes as well as further our business in terms of the In order to start up our business, we were given $500 by the Board of Investors in December, which allowed us to launch our products as well as to further our business. We have few recurring costs, as Lillian said, while we only use seats and websites, but as these grow and we need to maintain our facilities, we will need to get investment to do so in our business. If we are to receive investment tonight, the funds will be used to expand our facilities and our production line, meaning we can make more inventory to sell more cards. We'll widen our product range, allowing for more things to be bought, which may be different designs, different kinds of cards, and we would expand our budget for marketing and outreach, which would allow us to reach more customers and more people. We would also advance our mission, not just change our product. It would help us give back to local organizations and global ones that help with recycling in the environment, as well as increase our capacity for holding recyclables if people want to donate in order so they don't get thrown away. Also, this would give us wiggle room in our budget to improve our product to make it better for people. We would like to thank you for your time and consideration this evening, and would now like to open the floor to our Board of Directors for any questions.
What is the price point on the cards that you sell in the car?
We sell a single card for $5, a bundle of 2 cards for $12, and a bundle of 3 cards for $16. Those prices do differentiate though. Playing cards are cheaper, and as you add elements of design, they do get more expensive.
And what's been the most popular as far as that you've sold so far? The $5, the 2 for $12, or the 3 for $16?
were only selling in 3 and 6 packs, we did pivot recently to be able to buy singles, and since then the singles and duos have also been pretty popular.
I saw on your website some instructions for planting. Can you explain the germination process and how a person would know how to go about planting?
Yeah, so inside the card, there's a QR code that says scan here for plant care tips. It's not in your guys's, we just show the front, but if you were to buy from us, it would be. And so then whenever you give it to someone who doesn't know about our company, they can just scan it, and then on the very back of our card, it'll tell you if it's moss rose or mint or poppy seeds in it. And then you can just go and scan the QR code, and it takes you to the page, and we have clearly given you steps to germinate and best grow that specific seed.
Wonderful, thank you. First of all, I'm going to tell all 4 of you that I am so proud. I know what it takes for you 4 to stand up here. It's amazing. I think your product is absolutely amazing. It's a very unique idea. I would have never thought of this by any means. But I do have a few questions. The 16 million views. So that is that across all social media?
That was on one video.
It was on one video?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of that video, all of our other TikTok videos have gotten into like over 1,000.
So you went viral?
Yeah.
Okay. So you might have mentioned this when I asked a couple questions. If I missed it, just overlook that. You said your increased quality over other cards. What do you mean, your increased quality?
So our cards are handmade, unlike other just like machine, like factory made cards, and so we are like personally putting in time to create our cards and like make sure they're perfect for everybody. So like if a card's not perfect, we get rid of it and make it even better. And they're plantable.
And they're much thicker, so they're a lot more durable.
Can you just tell me about the process? How do you make your cards right now? I'm sure it's been an interesting process.
So it starts with paper, and just regular sheets of paper. Our school's recycling program, you can't, if you notice, you can't recycle shredded paper. So when the school shreds paper that has to be shredded for confidentiality purposes, they give it to us, and we wet the paper, put it in a blender, and it basically makes it look like a gray smoothie. And we put that in water, and then we pick it up with what's called a molded decal, which is basically like mesh on a piece of wood that Mr. John Bacon made us. And it makes a sheet, and we press the water out of it, and then it dries. And we've got paper.
Wow. So what is your percentage? What is your profit? I understand the price points where you're at, the one card for $5, but what is your percentage? What are you getting out of it?
So our net profit margin is around 60 to 64% over the course of 3 years once we've subtracted all of our expenses and stuff, because it doesn't cost us a lot to actually make the product. It's just the time that it takes to actually have the paper to dry. So our profit is pretty high with 64%.
That's very high.
I see one of the items you'd like to purchase is a glass pane versus what you're using right now. And how did you discover that would make things better? How did you figure that out?
So right now we press it between 2 towels, which allows us to get the most of the water out, which allows us for a pretty thin piece of paper that is easy to write on. But glass panes, through our research with some sort of forums for paper making, have found that a lot of people use glass panes because they allow the paper to swish down on a perfectly flat surface, which allows for less bumps. As you see in your card, they're a little bit textured, and while they're not difficult to write on, for ease of writing, especially with things like pens, that flat texture would definitely improve user experience.
What's the most important thing that you've learned about your business since we met back in December? What's the biggest, like, wow, I didn't really know this, and I know it now. What's one of those light bulb moments?
Definitely for me is I just didn't realize, I think all of us, is that we didn't realize how much time is worth money. So we are spending so much time and it is a premium product because it's hand painted and it's plantable, and the paper is nice. So I think that we were definitely undercutting ourselves, and as we were learned how to do business, and the more we grew, we realized that it's worth more.
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that people will love your product if you love your product. And I think all of us are very passionate about it. If any of us ask about Incubator, they get our little spiel about Royal Lily Paper Co. And people do really seem to take well to people who are passionate about what they do.
Definitely.
Is there anything you would have changed? Anything you regret along the way?
Probably trying to turn our paper orange at the start.
Are you happy with the seed variety that you've chosen? Do you have any plans to change that at all?
We just recently kind of rebranded our seeds and implemented some new ones. We now have mint instead of poppy seeds. And so I think now we're pretty happy with what we've got because we put a lot of time into thinking about what perfect seeds will be able to go into our cards.
Can you explain briefly the content of the TikTok, the video that went viral? What was this video? Because that is so impressive.
Yes, so I don't know if you guys know what Adult Swim is. So there was a trend on TikTok about a year ago. And so on Adult Swim, on the commercials, they would randomly just have a random scene, and then the AS, their symbol, would just come out of random places. So I noticed as I was scrolling through my feed that it was starting to come back a little bit, so it was an emerging trend again. So I decided that we decided pipe cleaners to make the AS on our pool deck, will bring it out of the water, and it's similar to making paper, and then it just appears as the water drains. So people thought it was cool.
People that said it was a waste of time. Your time spent on social media. No.
How much inventory do you have right now? Like, if you had a big order tomorrow, how much product do you have on hand to sell right now?
We make to sell usually, but we do have, if most of our larger orders are for custom invitations, and we do keep a stock of custom invitations, paper size for custom invitations, and we like to keep about 20 cards in stock for inventory.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you,
a great
guys.
product.
So as you can see, Team 1 really had some success with their products, and I could not be more proud of them. I promised I wasn't going to say emotional things because I'm the type of person that cries when I get emotional. Miss Pierce knows that about me. But both teams today have just surpassed my expectation. And I originally had in my speech that I've never seen in my 9 years of teaching so much growth among students in 1 year. So to see where they started on August 23rd and where they're at today is just so impressive. So I really hope you enjoyed hearing from Team 1. At this time, I am really excited to welcome our next team to the stage, and that is Luminescence.
I assume most of you here in the audience today
Occasionally like to light a nice scented candle in the comforts of your own home. But do you know how those candles can affect your body? Most big candle companies throughout the whole world like to use a type of wax called paraffin because of its cheap nature. But paraffin can be toxic to anyone it comes in contact with. When burned, it releases a toxic chemical called toluene. And toluene, when inhaled, can cause a number of health issues that range from organ failure and cancer all the way to deformed events.
We strive to make candles that are affordable, aesthetically pleasing, have stronger scents, and have clean ingredients such as soy wax in them. My name is Ava Obenauer, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer.
I'm Mallory Felker, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
I'm Elizabeth Savage, the Chief Operating Officer.
And I'm Alex Cummings, the Chief Financial Officer.
As a team, we have all seen the same problem throughout different candle companies, and that is candles that are not affordable, do not have aesthetically pleasing elements on top of them, and do not have strong scents and have ingredients in them that harm their health. Our solution to this problem is having affordable candles, having design elements that are wax on top of each and every one of our candles that accurately go with each scent. For example, we have a sweet clementine candle, as you can see up there in the front, which has clementine wax elements on top. With our lavender one, we have lavender, and so on and so forth. And then we also strive to have a stronger scent, as well as including those healthy ingredients like soy wax. So through here you can see we did a breakdown analysis of us compared to our direct and indirect competitors with 4 different characteristics. So first we have affordability, and with our indirect competitor Bath & Body Works, who uses paraffin wax and sells in large quantities as you have probably seen around the world, they are more expensive as they have large candles that are 14.5 ounces, and they sell for $26.95, while our candles, our large ones, are 16 ounces and are only $26. Our small ones are 7 ounces and they're $20, while Bath & Body Works sells 8-ounce ones that are $16.95. And our direct competitor, who uses soy wax and sells on Etsy just like us, is called Blue Line Studio, and they do not have designated sizes. Do not have designated sizes. However, their candles range from $20 all the way up to $75. For design, ours have wax design elements, as I said previously, on top of each and every one of our candles. Bath & Body Works does not have this, however, they do have decorative jars. And lastly, Blue Line Studio does not have any decorative elements, however, they do have molds instead of jars for all of the candles. And when it comes to health, both our direct competitor and us, we both use all natural soy wax, which is healthier, while Bath & Body Works uses paraffin wax, which is derived from petroleum oil, which is very good for swallowing. With scent, both Illuminescence and Bath & Body Works, all of our products are scented, while Blue Line Studio does not have any scented options.
Right after our MVP pitch in December, we collected our seed money and continued on to create the best product for our customers. So the first step was to create our wax and find the perfect ratio for our wax in the jars. And then our next step was to find the scent, and we tested many different combinations to find our perfect 3 scents that you see in front of you. We also had to test the ratios of that to find the best smelling and strong scent. From there, we tested our colors to find the perfect color toppers for our purple lavender candle, our yellow and green for our lemon, and then our orange for our sweet clementine. And that's where we got our current product, as you can see on our screen and in front of the board today. So our target audience is women over the age of 15 in the United States searching for a strongly scented and aesthetically pleasing candle. Women in the United States include 118 million. Our serviceable market is about 2.12 million women, and then our market share is the women in St. Francis County, which is about 32,000. Like I said before, we sell our products on Etsy, so we decided to look at the number of women in the United States that have an Etsy account that can find our profile on there. And so that is 74.52 million people, or women in the United States. Women in Missouri with an Etsy account is about 374,000, and then women in St. Francis County with an Etsy account that can find us is about 15,000. Our products are sold on Etsy, like I said before, as well as at in-person events like vendor fairs, and just in this past week, we put our product out in stores at Peterson Feed & Farm in Bonne Terre. Customers can also find us on our TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, or can email us from our email.
The graph on screen right now shows our total sales so far this year. We've only been an active company for month and a half, and we already have 74 sales, totaling to $1,176.62. As you can see from the graph, our small candles have sold quite a bit more than our large candles. However, we think that this is because people are buying our small candles to try to test out the scents before they make the commitment of buying a large candle. Our costs include anything from our wicks to our jars to even our packaging. And for our large candles, that comes out to $10.21, leaving us with a 60% profit margin. While for our small candles, that comes out to $5.55, leaving us with a 53% profit margin. And this is our 3-year summary. As you can see, as I said before, our small candles are exponentially larger sales compared to our large candles. However, there's also 2 items on there that we haven't talked about yet, our wax melts and our samplers. As I previously stated, we think that people are buying the small candles to test out the scents. So as you'll see before the judges today, they have these samplers that we're thinking about selling in packs of 3 to let people test out our scents. And we've gotten a lot of feedback saying that we should start selling wax melts, saying that a lot of people would buy those. So that's why we have those selling more than our large candles. Starting with our hoping for, by next year, a 20% profit increase, and by year 3, a 25% profit increase.
So far, we have utilized a few marketing strategies. We've utilized social media. As Elizabeth mentioned, we are on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. That's our most common marketing strategy thus far. We also use word of mouth. We talk to our family and friends and just get out in the community talking to people about what our business is. We've also been at in-person events, whether it's fairs or festivals, getting to know people in the community that we may not usually see, as well as school resources. We just earlier this week were interviewed by the school newspaper, got an article in there about what our business is and what we stand for, as well as we've been put out by the district in newsletters before. Recently, we dived into each of our social media platforms to see how our posts have been performing. We average between all of our platforms, we have over 300 followers, and we found on Instagram that the most engagement we get is from the videos we post. We do get some from the photo post as well, but it's higher on the videos. On the other side, both TikTok and Facebook, we perform better with the photos, and on Facebook, with the videos, they perform like not been received well at all, so we're just not going to try to do videos on there. We have numerous plans for the future of our marketing strategies. We would like to implement some giveaways, and we've reached out to some social media influencers already that have agreed to support our business as long as we can send them a free candle, but because it's expensive to ship our candles because they're so heavy, we haven't been able to do that just yet. We also would like to implement some promotional sales as well as paid advertisements, maybe through different social media platforms or even get in podcasts or magazines. You can find more details about HBs, as well as in product section. You can find more details about each of these within your investor packets. They detail all the plans we have for each of these marketing strategies. We now would like to share with you why additional funding would be so important to our business's growth. One, we need to grow our product inventory. In order to grow our business, we need to have more products to sell. And while it is expensive to make a ton of products, we need the money to be able to buy the material to sell them. We also strive to be the best we can for each of our consumers. So having the best product we can is what is most important to us. So we always want to try to improve each of our products, and that costs money as well. As previously mentioned, there are numerous new products we would like to implement, like the wax melts and
birthday, and thank you, family and friends, for coming and listening to us talk. We are now open the floor to any questions that you might have for you.
Okay, there we go. Can you tell us about any changes you've made since the MVP pitch?
Well, recently we have made changes to our lemon orchard candle. The toppers on top, you can see it. It's the little candle on the top. We have added more lemon-like elements to it, so it looks more like a lemon orchard than it did before. And we've also added leaves on top of it, so you get that orchard feel. But that is always basic.
Okay, and are the wooden lids, are they different? Maybe? Or were those, I didn't remember the wood, I really like the look. Looks good. And I feel like it's a stronger scent, so I didn't know if maybe some of the formulas had changed. How did you decide on those?
Before, we didn't have these kind of jars before the MVP pitch. We used the money from the MVP pitch to buy these types of jars.
How did you decide on those scents? Did you have testers?
We actually, at school during our incubator hour, we would go into the kitchen that we have at the school, and we would kind of just mess around with each of the essential oils and kind of see which would be the best scent combination. We also got feedback from like teachers and students to see which scents they would like best, and a lot of people mentioned that they like sweeter scents, while others said that they like more citrusy or like lavender floral scents. So we kind of based it off of the most popular, and that's why we came up with those three.
So I'd like to start, once again, I know how hard it is to speak on stage. You all do amazing, wonderful, wonderful. And to memorize all of that information, it takes a lot of time and effort has been put into this. So just a couple questions that I have. So your competitors, so Bath and Body Works, that's a big competitor to go up against. And so you said some statistical or some information about their products and the ingredients, I guess I should say. Where did you get this information to know that your ingredients are superior to theirs?
So we did a lot of research. I have a lot of Bath and Body Works at my house. I know my family, we love Bath and Body Works. So I looked on the back of their warning labels. They had the ingredients listed on there. And I looked up all the ingredients and compared it to soy wax. And that is where I found out that the paraffin wax is more harmful. And how soy wax, they use everything in soy wax. They do not leave anything behind.
Yeah, and paraffin wax, it's made from petroleum. You're breathing in petroleum when you use paraffin wax candle. And it's cheap, that's why most big companies use it, but that's why Bath and Body, that's the kind of wax Bath and Body Works uses in each of their products.
Okay. So almost $1,200 in revenue so far, correct? Yeah, that's incredibly impressive. So you're CFO. Okay. What do you? I know you said mostly you contribute this to the smaller candles. Is that correct? Is where you got most of the 1,200. Okay. And then your estimated growth. Like how did you estimate that growth in your 3-year plan?
We took to account the sales that we've done so far in this past month and a half, and then also thought about, okay, and looked at the statistics of other candle companies and like, where do they get most of their sales during holiday seasons? And whatever new, like during October for like pumpkin scented candles and like Christmas. And so we took into account spikes and then of course dips in like January and February. And also people coming back every couple of months to buy a new candle after they've used those to give us the numbers that we have.
My question is, your competitor, that's your main competitor as far as being soy candles, I think you said that they just sell a candle only without a glass jar, is that correct? Now, the glass jars are expensive, and they do break very easily, and ship them, or even going from trade show or to festivals or whatever, it's easy to break. Have you thought about doing a the hours, the number of hours the candle burns, do you list? Is that something that when people buy candles, they look and see how long the candle will last? Is that hours burning, is that important or not?
We haven't tested that yet. Whenever I was looking at Bath and Body Works labels, I saw that they did have that listed, but we were just in the selling process and we didn't have time to look at that, but we know that.
And then the other thing is, as far as the scent is so important, how did you, how large of test group did you use to figure out if the scent was ideal or not? How did you, how large of test group did you have?
So we used the samplers that you see in front of you. That's kind of how we found our ratio. And then we kind of started to go into our smaller candles, our 7-ounce, to see kind of how long those burned. We also kind of passed them out to different students to see if they would test them for us, to see their feedback, whether we needed more scent or less scent, and kind of based it off of that. And then from there, we just kind of did math to ratio it for our big candles.
Yes, all four did a wonderful job. Yes, very much so.
So during this time, we are actually going to take a brief intermission to allow our judges time to deliberate. If you did not notice when you came in, we do have a table set up in the lobby with both teams' products. If you would like to look at them, smell the candles, hold the paper. On the program, if you guys got a copy of that on your way in, there are also QR codes that are linked to both teams' link trees, so you can go check out their socials, you can go to their websites, their Etsy account, and kind of just see what they have to offer, and then we will be back momentarily to announce our winner. Thank you. So I want to start by saying that I do not envy our board of advisors one bit, because I would not want to make this decision. As you can see, both teams did a phenomenal job. There was a lot of behind-the-scenes work that they put in, and you know, to some you might be like, oh, this is a slideshow, this is nothing, like I've been making these my whole life. But these kids have worked so hard to get where they are today, doing all their research, conducting market tests. So I am just so proud of both teams. So at this time, I'm going to ask both teams to come onto the stage. And I'd also like to give them a round of applause. So my slideshow was also, the drum was supposed to beat, and it did not work the way that I wanted it to, so we'll just pretend to try the drum roll. But I am going to go ahead and announce the winner of 2024 Incubator EDU Final Pitch. And the winning team is Royal Lily Paper Cup. So the Royal Lily Paper Co. is being awarded $2,000 in investment funds to continue with their business plans that you heard them pitch tonight. Again, I'm so proud of both these teams' parents. I know that you are too. I'm going to keep logos up, and we'll have some photo ops. So if you guys would like to take photos of your children in front of their logos, we can flip back and forth between the screen. But that is all we have for you tonight. So thank you so much for joining us.